Hey there, welcome back to Sea Power, and we're all the way back to the Battle of the Atlantic campaign. Quite a few new missions have been added to the workshop, so let's get to work. This is a bit of a side note. I am running this on the beta branch, so there might be some adverse effects, some things that are not quite working as intended, but we'll see how it goes. A severe electrical storm front has degraded NATO awareness across the Denmark Strait. SOSAs are raised west of Iceland report a faint, rhythmic, low-frequency bearing inside your patrol sector. Environmental and electromagnetic conditions are generating intermittent false returns and reduced sensor fidelity. The Iroquois is the sole effective on-scene ASW asset and are to localize and prosecute the possible contact while preventing any covert transit through the gap. Supporting NATO assets in the AO are impacted by weather issues. Civilian merchant traffic is present in the area, and Soviet intelligence collection vessels may be operating among them. We are to search, localize, classify, and if hostile, neutralize any submarine contacts within our assigned patrol box. We are to deny unauthorized passage through the GI-UK axis, and we are to protect neutral shipping and avoid misidentification. Okay. Assume on-scene tactical control for ASW, conduct immediate westward step search to refine the SOSA's bearing, maintain MCON until positive classification, prioritize passive localization, use discrete active search at your discretion for final attack geometry, and ready torpedoes. Weapons release requires positive classification and captain authority. Alright, so here she is, the HMCS Iroquois. Canadian warship, and it is part of the mod that's required. This is the Iroquois class. Named in honor of the First Nation of Canada, the 4 ships of the Iroquois class are helicopter-carrying guided missile destroyers of the Royal Canadian Navy. Equipped with 2 CH Sea Kings helicopters, CH-124 Sea Kings, when commissioned they were considered among the most formidable anti-submarine warfare platforms in NATO. Interesting. I only get 1. Despite being potentially not so alone here. Now let's launch. Let's see. This is the new utilization of the flight deck. In case you don't, in case you're not familiar with it, what we have is one set of deck crew, so to speak, and one set of deck utilization. This means I can only have 1 aircraft ready on the deck, and I can only use 1 crew to prepare another helicopter. Because I can have the other ASW helicopter readied, and that's going to absorb the crew. But I can't actually launch the other one yet, because there aren't any spots, so they can't prep the helicopter. So let's launch the helicopter that's available, and then the deck crew is going to go, ah, look, we have a spot. Because the helicopter is being wheeled out onto the deck on the stern. And this means the flight deck, which is not the actual flight deck, it's more like the hangar, is available for prepping additional aircraft. Now, as you can see, sea state is atrocious. This is going to make detection of enemy submarines much more difficult. Enemy submarines are definitely going to have an advantage in this area. We're doing 11 knots, it's fine. Deploy the... Come on. Deploy the... Oh, it's an active VDS. I'm supposed to be limiting the amount of active sonar that I use. I'm only supposed to use that when I actually have already a fairly clear clue of where a submarine might be. That's a nice shot. So, I guess, as much as I like, I cannot really use the VDS. Also, I'm going to turn the flight thingy to realistic. I'm currently flight deck timing's casual. I'm going to upgrade that to realistic. And that might take my helicopters a lot more time to get ready. Yeah, 24 minutes until the helicopter's ready. And recovering the helicopter and preparing it for another flight is going to probably also take a hefty amount of time. We only carry 8 sonar buoys. We also carry a dipping sonar. So, given the limitation of the flight deck, I'm going to have to use dipping sonar a heck of a lot more, or find myself without a helicopter for probably quite a while. Let's say I want to have about a 10-mile safe zone around the ship. Let's switch that to light. And make sure that the helo is going to go outside the area. Another part of the flight deck, by the way, is that you can have a flight deck rally point. Normally it's set to auto. If you don't like that, you can set where you want them to go. So I can say I want you to go there, and now every other helicopter is going to go pretty much here. This is, however, not a dynamic spot, so keep in mind if your ships have moved on, the helicopter will still fly back to that spot. So it's a nice upgrade, but I'd say not terribly useful for ASW assets. It's much more useful when you're actually doing ASW, when you're doing a flight deck ops from a carrier. Now, that was the Iroquois in the back. She's going to be prepping the second helicopter, and it's going to take about 23 minutes. This could be a fairly long mission. Considering the amount of time that ASW typically takes, yeah, this could be a long one. Now, I carry 4 active buoys, 8 passive buoys. And in the current conditions, that's not a lot. That's not a lot. Ideally, I would get sonar buoys with a spread of 4 miles, if not less than that. Sonar buoys in this weather are not going to have a great time detecting things. So, yeah. I'm going to have to probably dip a whole lot, but I'm not randomly going to just dip the sonar array in and hope that I catch something. There's also no patrol zone as far as I can tell. So at the moment, I know essentially nothing. Let's see. We have a hull-mounted sonar, which can supposedly do 35 kilometers, so about 18 miles passive, but only above the layer. Everything else is not that likely to get detected. Okay. That's the first sonar buoy. Yeah, so we're gonna kind of drop in a spread like this, I guess. I only carry 8, so that's it. That's the spread going to be with about 6 miles, and if I find anything suspicious, we're gonna have a good listen. We're gonna use the dipping array. The only problem that I now have is that one's gonna be above the layer, one's gonna be below the layer. Ideally, I'd have this spread much closer. Let's see what the ambient noise is like. This is the F10 menu. Ambient noise is 90. It's not as bad. I was expecting something like, well, about 110, 120. Which means that if submarines only have a sound profile of 130, 140, you might struggle to find them. Alright, let's go drop some sonar buoys. New message received. Storm conditions abating. Winds below flight threshold. Both Sea Kings now mission capable. Oh, I already had one out. And available for tasking. Request updated contact information and vectors from your sector. Stand by for coordinates and release authority. But I was already launching Sea Kings, so... Oh! You just gave me control of the airport. Nice. That means I now have 6 Sea Kings that I can help, or can send to help, and I can load them out for 24 ASW flights. They have a prep time of 30 minutes, 30. Now this airbase, much more deck utilization, so much more prep space, so to speak, as well as much more crew to actually run that. So let's launch one and launch another. Especially with the limited amount of supplies that I have here, I think I might need that. How far can a Sea King fly? Yeah. So that's going to be pretty much a one-way trip. Well, it's going to be going there, dropping buoys, and coming home. They've run at a speed about 140 knots, so flying from the airport all the way over to the frigate, sorry, destroyer, is going to take an hour and a half, pretty much. Alright. Well, at least I got more assets at my disposal. That's nice. New message received. Mechanical issues resolved. Main engines and electrical systems fully restored, says HMCS Huron. Okay. Resuming standard operations. Currently regaining formation to your north at 20 knots. ETA 10 minutes to station. Request sitrep and contact status. And now we have the Huron over here. How nice. Okay. Well, you know what to do. Launch your ASW bird. Don't do 20 knots. Don't do 11 knots. And deploy your... This interferes with the flight deck. Deploy your towed decoy. These guys are definitely going to take a while. It's going to take half an hour before we launch a helicopter. This is with that new flight deck mechanic. If you're running this on the stable version, so the not beta branch, you might not have that extremely long flight prep. That's definitely something that they have only implemented in the beta version so far. And it's a beta version, so it could still change. New message received. Electrical storm disruption cleared. Communication and radar are now stable. Says the USS Brumby, as well as USS Bagley. Both vessels back on assigned patrol south of your position. Sea state remains high but stabilizing. Ready for tasking and coordinated search pattern. As a little side note, for this particular mission, it would be really nice to use the supposedly new feature where you can change weather during a mission. So right now you're set with the sea state and with the weather that you have, but there is a new feature where that is not the case. Where you can actually have that as, well, as I suppose on a trigger as well. So you can say, hey, after, I don't know, 15 minutes in mission, such as right now, I want to have clear skies. That's possible. You can do that. I only have one bird, so I don't need to worry about that. This thing has apparently a hangar that's so big you can prep 2 helicopters in it, which is nice, but in this case, I don't actually need to use that. At least now I have 4 ships. The Brumby, the Bagley, the Iroquois, and the Huron. And most of them are still prepping their helicopters. So only Iroquois has their bird out, and that bird is going to get assistance in the next 10 minutes. At which point I think they'll be still dropping buoys, so it's fine. And of course with, well, probably a turnaround time of 2 hours. This bird's going to take a while to get back out there. New message traffic received. I'm starting to sound like a broken record. USS Ray, as well as USS Hammerhead and Cincinnati. Comms check complete, says a submarine to a surface ship. All units green. Weather stabilizing, sensors degraded but functional. Request updated contact bearing and assignment priority. Remain under MCON unless otherwise directed. And there's Cincinnati, there's Hammerhead, and there's the Ray. You are running at 20 knots. Sir, that would sound like a really terrible idea. Yeah, that's a Sturgeon class. Hammerhead is another... Oh. 1/3. Get your tow arrays out. You, get your tow array out. What we got? Something doing 20 knots. Suspicious. More suspicious. 18 knots, 19 knots? That's a very fast whale if that's what that is. Okay, get over here. Get over here. Hammerhead. You got Mark 48s, standards, not ad caps, so we have a range of 20 miles. That kind of puts the submarine into range. But given the fact she's already heading away, I kind of doubt that. Bagley, you are probably not at risk of that submarine hitting you yet. But if they got carrier killers, we're still in trouble. My next helicopter is going to launch in 24 minutes from Bagley. The alternative is to run the Bagley up and prepare for ASW operations using the ASROC. Not really. Oh, that's fast. It's a Victor. A Victor with the carrier killers out to 27 miles, so Iroquois is officially in range. But if this storm is affecting the submarines as badly as it is me, I don't think they're really gonna do that much. Oh, we also got them classified as a hostile. Still got 4 minutes to wait. This is a very new dynamic. Normally, if you have a submarine detected, you just say, hey, launch your helicopter, go kill. That's not happening if you use the realistic flight deck setting, because I'm gonna wait 23 minutes. If this thing had been detected and I didn't have a helo ready, it would have taken 30 minutes, 3-0. So, in this situation, yeah, you're definitely looking at a slightly different way of playing, because you have to plan much more ahead, and if you don't, well, you're just gonna have to wait. You're just gonna have to wait. Because I don't really see any other options. Now, I'm going to not throw a torpedo in behind the submarine, as I normally do. I'm gonna throw it ahead. So the submarine's gonna be forced to respond. and probably turn away, which is fine. I don't feel like I need to do an active ping, because this thing is loud enough as is. So we're just going to engage it. Anybody else detected anything? Not really. You? Victor 2 or Victor 2? Or Victor 1? So again, carrier killer torpedoes, but the Victor 1 doesn't carry that. So it's a Victor 1. They got anti-surface torpedoes out to 10 miles, which makes it far safer. Alright, single shot. Let's go hunting. Who detected this thing? Cincinnati and Hammerhead detected the other sub, and you? Cincinnati, the Hammerhead and the Ray. This Sonobuoy? Never had a clue. This one is below the layer, much as the submarine, but, you know, it's 13 miles out, so it was not likely to detect it. The next passive drop here might have spotted it. As for waiting for a helicopter from this airbase, 16 minutes, so no joy. Oh, they're gone. Preparing to drop. 1.8 mile out. They're still doing 20 knots at a course southwest. 252. Alright, dude. On your head be it. 1.3 miles. 12. 108. Weapon away. Fly past him. Torpedo looking. It is below the layer. Maybe I should have told the torpedo that as well. Noisemaker. He knows. He's slowing down to 16 knots. That's a curious course of action. Noisemaker's immediately attracting the attention from the torpedo here. Way within minimum range. I'm gonna tell the Seeking to get some distance. He's changing course and flooring it. 22.5 knots. 18 knots. He's changing course west. If this Mark 46 can still turn around, maybe we can still get him. Weapon Seeker's big enough. Oh, we've reacquired the other contact. Good. Go in again. And then I'm not going to tell this helo to go back yet. I'm going to keep the dipping sonar available. Negative. Because he's loud now, but if he slows down, I might not keep a good eye on him. What about your second Seeking? 40 seconds. Good. Excellent. This Mark 46 is now searching. Oh, it's a Victor 1. That's good news, it's not as dangerous. Target depth, 246. He's coming up. He's kicking out more noisemakers and immediately has attracted both the torpedoes. That's unfortunate. I was really hoping that this one's gonna actually get it. He's going deep. 300 feet. But actually, the Mark 46 might have had him. We might have him. Because they're not locked onto the noisemaker anymore. Well, no, they are locked onto the noisemaker, but this one isn't. There's a torpedo in there somewhere. In post, I'll probably be able to clear this up, but right now I'm not really seeing much. You're looking. Target depth, 418 feet. He's below the layer. This torpedo might not catch him. This one does. He kicks out another noisemaker. There's a... yeah, there it goes. There's a decent chance that this torpedo is going to get fooled. I'm going to go dip. Looks like we're going to have one hit. There we go. That's one hit on the K438. I doubt that'll be sufficient. This Mark 46, I think, is the first one to go in. That means... no, actually it's the second one. The first one was doing the loop-de-loop over there. He's coming up. Torpedo has acquired. There he is. He's still doing a surfacing maneuver, 280 feet, 260. Whoa, dude. You're way too low. There's no noisemaker on the other end. What are you doing? That's weird. Can you pull that thing up? Because it might be selfie time. 150 feet. A lot of noisemakers for that torpedo to chase. Torpedo changing course. Looking. He's now actually looking below the layer. And the sub's now above. Sub is surfacing. Wait, where'd the thunder go? What? Proudly flying the Soviet flag. 6 feet, 7 feet, 8, 9. That's a new feature. They're on fire? Yeah, they're... Okay. It's very atypical to have these things actually surface like that. And be on fire. That might give me an opportunity to hit him with a harpoon. Iroquois. Oh, you don't have a harpoon. Ugh. Okay. You do. But that harpoon is a hefty amount of flight time. What are we gonna do about this guy? What are we gonna do with you? Can we just have you surrender? Oh, goodbye. Sunk like a brick. Alright, so that is one confirmed kill. Well done. Now, do I need to send you out to help here? It's a 40-mile flight. Oh, they've picked up survivors. How generous. It's gonna be a busy ride in that helo, I suppose. Noisemakers will dissipate. Oh, now you catch on. No, you still haven't caught on. He's already 1,000 feet down. Okay. Right, so that's one confirmed kill. Good work. At this point, the second bird should be right about ready. Especially with the Bagley not quite in a position to engage yet. I'm going to not wait for that. We're going to have to launch the second bird. Yeah, I'm going to assume I picked up enough survivors. Let's go. My plan here is to use this Sea King as the hunter, and the other one's the killer. At this point, they're still about 19 miles out, so they're still safe, the Bagley, unless carrier killer. But we'll see about that. Just as I was about to throw another sonobuoy to try and reacquire the contact here, we have him. Courtesy of the Ray, the Cincinnati, and the Hammerhead. This guy probably just sped up, and that made him highly detectable. So what I'm going to do now is just sit above him. Deploy. He's at 456, 460. I'm going to say that's below the layer. I'm going to give him an active ping. You're going to stand by. There we go, we have an active return. As far as I know, that was the Victor, well, 1 or 2. So I'm going to say, you are not my friend. And we're going to throw a torpedo at it. Yeah, let's continue on our course. Go bow on, drop a torp at it. This one's holding a ping. The Bagley has her bird available, but I'm not telling them to launch yet. Because I'm thinking I will wait until the other Sea King is going to go back. That's when I might need that other helicopter. The helicopter from the Brumby, however, is operational, the Lamplighter 1, and she's going to drop sonobuoys in front of the Brumby. Okay. We're going to drop. This is because the guy's doing 20 knots. I might be able to get him from behind because he's deaf there. But I'm not 100% sure what type of submarine this is. And because of that, well, actually, hold on. Neither of these have a towed array. A Vic 3 does, but a Victor 2 and a Victor 1 don't. Hold on, we're going to attack him from behind. Change of plans. Because he might not even hear the fact that he's under attack. Yes, I'm pinging him at a less than a mile. So he ought to know that there's something up. But at this point, the AI isn't so clever that they're immediately going to take all sorts of evasive action based on the fact that there's a helicopter actively pinging them. Half a mile, come around. Weapon is away. Torpedo has to die to 550. Hold off on the second torpedo, because the first submarine that I engaged went down after one guy, after just one hit. Holding at 550. Torpedoes acquired. Target appears to be unaware. They're not actively changing course. 200 feet. Passing 300 feet. There it is. Yeah, he's completely unaware. This is the beauty of not having your adversary have a towed array. Because it's just one big hit. They didn't even take evasive action because they never heard the torpedo. They're now coming up. This is when it could be interesting to have a harpoon standing by. Minimum range for the harpoon is 3 miles, so that's not a problem. He just disappeared because he's above the layer. Propulsion's knocked out. He's gonna come up. Active return. So once again we have him. And he should be right around here. Depth, 130 feet. Always hover your helicopter above the enemy submarine to show dominance. They don't like that. There. Hello. Are you also going to erupt the flames or what? Yep, you were. See? Asserting dominance. That's how you do it. This is the US Navy preparing to pick up survivors. Because let's be honest, that's basically what they're here for. I mean, not strictly the Sea King. Sea King's there to detect and eliminate submarines, which it's done successfully. And goodbye. So, that is Victor 2 down. Picked up survivors. I still don't know what the survivors actually do. I don't think it's a mechanic that's fully fleshed out yet, but maybe when we're finally going to get a full campaign, a dynamic campaign, having crew could be a resource. Something that you have to manage. So that you can have your ships, well, get more crews or replenish crew that might have been lost. Stuff like that. Now, I'd say so far this has been a successful patrol. We've eliminated 2 victors. But we are not the victorious yet. Sorry, that was awful. We're not victorious yet, but plenty more to come in the next part. So join me soon as we're going to be doing some more ASW hunting and some more asserting dominance over submarines. See you in part 2.